Welcome back to another episode of the Sweet Shots podcast. Lucas Johnson alongside Mark Johnson and Chuck Johnson. Chuck, did I scare you there on that intro?
No, not at all. I'm just getting a little closer.
You got a little jumpy there. I wasn't sure.
Nope, I almost fell off the stool. I'm just getting closer to you.
Welcome. Yeah, we got to get comfortable in our new space here for those watching. We're down in the academy today. We got a busy day. We got booted out of our normal recording space, but this will do. This is welcome to my world now, gentlemen.
This is great space.
I know you guys don't make it down here.
Maybe we should record here. Well, you're busy down here, so we can't record here all the time.
It worked out today where we had a little time. We're going to sneak a podcast in here today. We got a good one lined up for you. We're going to talk a little bit of everything from local golf to pro golf, and then we're going to get into Mark, Chuck. You guys might have had a chance to take down the Champions Tour Shanley Pro-Am.
That's right.
And I'm excited. I'm excited to break that down. So we'll get into that later. But first, we teased a big announcement on the last episode. Mark, you were not there, but Chuck and I teased.
I listened to it.
Yeah, we teased a big announcement. We got to that announcement, and today we're going to announce that thanks to you listeners, we have been nominated as one of the top 5 podcasts in the Fargo-Moorhead area.
Wow,
top 5.
I like that.
That's something.
They didn't give me a complete list of how many regional podcasts there were.
There's 6.
So we made 5.
Just kidding. No, that's great.
Yes. So thank you so much to the listeners out there for nominating. And if you're listening to this now, make sure you go to the Inforum website. That's where you do the voting, correct?
Yep.
It is,
right.
but you can probably access it from our
Facebook,
social media.
Yep. Get on our social media, Sweet Chat social media, and make sure to get out and vote. Vote for this podcast. It's going to be the one that looks like an address. For whatever reason, our podcast name didn't get on there. It's not the Sweet Shots podcast. It just says Sweet Shots 4300 Jamesway.
Okay. Yep. Listed there.
So it's not a mistake, but you can go out and vote for that.
Okay. Yeah. So the listener, appreciate your support, and it's pretty simple to get out there and vote. There's other categories, obviously, as well. So love the support across the board, man.
We had a few nominations in
8 categories. Sweet Shots, 8 categories. That's great.
Phenomenal.
So thank you to everyone who not just nominated the podcast, but nominated Sweet Shots in general. We appreciate all of the support. We're going to continue to get better and improve upon that, and keep having a good time. Keep it zesty, as we like to say.
That's right.
I think that's the tagline there. So without further ado, we're going to continue this top 5 podcast. We're going to get into a little local golf. The most recent, the girls tournament they played yesterday. It was kind of near and dear to us. That's the Don Johnson Memorial Shanley Invite out at Fargo Country Club. Brutal conditions to play out there. I think it was straight line 20-mile-an-hour winds.
She was windy.
What it was. I mean, that was and at that golf course with those greens, that can get tricky. But Zoe Keene from West Fargo Cheyenne with a nice 73.
Wow,
that's a great round.
That's great
to bring it back, and she made a nice putt on 18. I saw on Twitter, and it was a little tester on 18. That green's tricky.
Good
so to knock that down for 73, that's a solid score out there.
That's a great score.
And I think Red River won that one.
Red River won by a stroke, 322, a stroke over Davies, 323. And that's, then team golf, every stroke is an obvious statement. Every stroke matters.
Absolutely.
So, if you can make a decision out there to help your team, and don't worry about your own score. Maybe instead of trying to go and try and save par, just chip out and make your bogey instead of suffering a double. That's the difference.
You don't need to be a hero.
Not in team golf.
Not in team golf.
Not in team golf. So of note, the home team, Shanley, they tied for 4th. It's their best showing of the year.
For them.
It's a young team, and they're improving every week. They lost Astrup that went up to UND. Lindsay, great player. But they're getting better every week, and they tied for 4th with Wahpeton. So these teams are jockeying to see who's going to make it to state. I think if Coach McTaggart, if she said, "Hey, we're going to make it to state this year," that's a great goal. That'd be a great accomplishment. So hopefully they can continue to improve.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun to follow along. I know watching the season closely, there's been a lot of PRs by a lot of teams. I think golf is continuing to improve in the area, and it's really fun to see. I know personally having the opportunity to work with Aubrey Selheim. She plays for West Fargo Cheyenne as well. And we started the year, I mean, couldn't break 90, and now she's at the point where I know yesterday she saw 86 in that win, but she gets mad when she doesn't break 90, right?
Great.
I mean,
that's great.
Continuing to improve, and I think a lot of people are starting to see that. And of note, congrats to her. She's as of right now the leading scorer for freshmen.
Wow.
In the North Dakota high school.
Fantastic. And that's Cheyenne. She plays for Cheyenne.
They
finished third. They were they shot 328. I mean, they weren't that far back.
It's bunched. Scores are bunched.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really exciting stuff. And I think they only have a handful left before regions and state. So
do you know our state? Is it out west this year?
I think it's Grand Forks.
No, I think, it is.
Okay.
It's Country Club.
Country Club. Grand Forks Country
Pretty
Club,
sure.
Which was that was my senior year. That was our state out there. And nice track. Mark, I know you played out there a week ago, and those greens are lightning.
They were fantastic. The crew out there, they've done a great job. They suffered some flood damage this spring from the river. Most of that's healed up. It's non-issue. The greens they were fantastic. I made the mistake of getting above the first 4 holes. We had a little match, UND alumni against the active team members. It was a fundraising event. Really a lot of fun. Greg Melhus, who played up at UND, was tied for lowest 71. We lost to the young men, which you would hope. I mean, they're at the top of their game. But
if I was a betting man, that's what I would have
taken that.
But Coach Schaefer, he's done a good job of turning that program around. They got the funding. And we played with Joe Corton. Joey's Moorhead product.
Boy.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of local guys on that team. It's good to see.
Yep.
Grayson Wedge is up there.
Yep.
Nate
Grayson
Pearl.
Wedge.
Yep.
Pearl. So those guys, they've got some talent, and they're getting better and better. So it's fun to see. Yeah, you'd like to beat them, but it's okay that we lost too. I think you guys played a big match against.
Yeah, we
Fargo Country Club once.
Yeah, it was
those guys.
With the Fargo Country Club members, and it was a Ryder Cup style play. And so I think the great late Russ Newman was the captain.
Yeah, of course.
For the Fargo Country Club members, he put together a really solid team. I think they edged us out by a point. I think it came down to Josh Persons and who was he playing? I don't know if it was Andrew Israelson or who it was.
It might have been. Yeah.
And it came down to the final hole, and it was a great time. Good competition. I know I played Matt Rubis, and early on, I think he chipped in twice on me.
Sounds about right.
And I was like, oh boy, this is going to be a long day. But I closed him out early. I turned on the burners. But it's just fun. That kind of stuff I really enjoy. It just keeps it light. It kind of reminds you to have fun with it,
And that's what's great about golf. You have collegiate players playing with either alumni or members of a club.
Yep.
I mean, there's not many sports. You could certainly have a pickup basketball game, but how competitive would that be?
Right.
But golf, you can still have a competition after the fact. So fun to see. So yeah, some good local golf. Get back on that subject. I did peek at the results from Bemidji last week. I know
that's University of Mary. That crew, is that right?
They went there and played. They're getting better too. There's some local talent there. Zach Berner-King works for us. Playing there. Of course, Evan Booth.
Oh yeah.
Am I forgetting another local kid? I think I am. That's playing out there. There's another West Fargo. Yeah. Yep. Shoot, can't remember his name. But they're competitive. But the team that played well there was Crookston.
Really? Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's
Leighton Bartley.
Leighton Bartley's on that. Yeah, good squad there.
Yeah.
And Carson Schultes from Fargo North.
Yeah, I mean, so
it's a good squad. Good squad.
And that's what's fun about golf too. Collegiate golf. They play 5, and you get a few guys that can play, and you can turn a program around pretty quick.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Cool. And you look at kind of, that's kind of what NDSU has done in 5 years, gone inside from well outside top 100. And now they're turned it around, and now are well inside the top 100. And I don't see any reason why a lot of the other schools can't accomplish that too. And I think it just speaks to the level of talent that's around this area.
Yep.
Not only at the collegiate level, but at the high school level. And it's been fun, especially working around here, getting to see the junior level talent.
Yep.
And it's safe to say, I mean, it's in good hands for a while.
And year round now. So they can come here and practice that game all year.
Yeah. And again, I mean, continued partnership, not to throw it out, but to throw it out, the Dakota Junior Golf Association and our partnership with them.
Absolutely.
With that free bay here, it's phenomenal. It's really, really great to see. I make sure to mention it to all the kids that come in here, because it's just great to get them introduced to the game, get them hooked on the game, and what a great game to be hooked on, right? I mean, that's
well said.
That's something that we take pride in here. So for sure there.
Well, can I jump in? So speaking of local news and high school level, how about a kudos to LJ here, to Lucas. Congratulations on a head coaching. Shanley Deacons boys team was announced. Was it just last week or the week prior?
Yep, last what is it today? Tuesday, probably Thursday.
Okay,
Wednesday or Thursday.
It's been a whirlwind. I saw a nice article on Inform or on the forum.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, came together real quickly. Big thanks to Brock Ellingson, who spoke highly of me and kind of made that road quick. But I couldn't be more excited. I mean, it's a great program. Obviously, they got a great group of guys, and just the opportunity to kind of carry on the legacy. I know as we know, and hopefully the listeners know, with my grandpa, you guys' dad, Don Johnson, being the head coach there. Chuck, you played for him, right?
I did.
And then I played for him. You didn't, right?
I did not play for him. Nope. No, I was gone by then.
You were
graduated.
Yep. So was that
my sophomore year is when he started as an assistant, and then through those 3 years, sophomore, junior, senior, he was an assistant coach. Sure. We had a different head coach.
So does he count those years in the 36 years?
He should.
Well, he does.
Yeah, he should. Yeah.
Because 36 years is a long time to be coaching at a place.
Well, when I saw that, sorry to interrupt, but when I saw that announcement, I got goosebumps. I really did. It was emotional, and I know I messaged you. Grandpa's proud, and I know he's smiling, looking down.
Yeah, thank you. It was the interview was. I mean, it was great, a great process. I did have to laugh a lot because I find out more and more about his coaching style the more that people tell me, or now that I've accepted this, and they say, I remember when Don did this, that, and the other thing, and one of them was. They asked how my driving record. I had to pass a background check, and they asked me how my driving record was. And he's like, honestly, we're more concerned about the driving record because we have to insure the vehicles that you take the teams to. And it immediately flashed to my mind. I wanted to say, well, it's better than my grandpa's was. And the story behind that is the amount of times that we might have been a handful of minutes late because we might have talked him into stopping for breakfast. Somewhere. The story that comes to mind, we stopped to Perkins on our way to Carrington. We were playing the Crossroads at Carrington. And we were maybe the third team that decided to stop there, so they were just getting absolutely slammed. And so we were running a little behind, and sure enough, we had to get to the course in time. And I think we clocked Grandpa going about 95 on our way there.
Uh-oh.
Just flying down the highway.
Don't be doing that.
No, don't do that.
No, and then the other one was, and I was talking with Sherry McTaggart, I think was it. If I get it wrong, I'm sorry, but the routine is that every once in a while you got to take the people mover, the short bus, to bring the guys to tournaments, and I guess Grandpa did not enjoy that driving that thing at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess as the story goes. It was more of a cautionary tale as hey, maybe do this. But the story goes that he didn't like driving it so much that no matter what, he would just go and rent an SUV and then put the invoice on the AD's desk and just hope they pay it off.
Oh, boy.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's classic. That's Dad do it to you.
Which I didn't think about when I was playing. He just showed up in an SUV every time. And was like,
never thought of it.
Yeah, I didn't think
he just rented an SUV.
Just put the invoice on the AD's desk and hope they paid it off.
And then he would do it. I could just see him doing it.
And whether it was Sherry McTaggart or whoever I was talking with, but they go, you might want to wait 20 years before you start doing that.
Well, if we're getting into stories, the one classic one I'll tell is in the fall. I believe it was fall or spring. It might have been spring. They were all the coaches were summoned to come meet with the AD, and I don't know who the AD was at the time, but
it was Nelson,
Randy Nelson.
Right? You remember this, Mark?
Yep, rest his soul.
So jump in if I misspeak here, but I'm going from memory. So he does not go to said mandatory meeting.
Dad doesn't.
Dad didn't. He was
coaches meeting. Got to be their mandatory meeting. All the coaches.
Yep. He was busy. I think he actually was out golfing. It was a nice day or nice night or whatever.
He was playing golf.
Yep. So he didn't go. So then he gets summoned by the AD to come and explain why he was not there, right? He's in a little bit of trouble, a little bit hot water.
Yep.
And Dad told me he went in there and explained to him he had a commitment. Unfortunately, I think it was his grandpa had passed away. He had to be at that funeral.
Yeah, this was Dad, like 10 years ago.
Dad was 70 at the time.
Yes,
and
he was 70 at the
excuse.
Jeez, Randy, I would have been there, but my grandfather passed away.
If I remember, it gets better, right? The story.
Well, Randy goes, "Oh, Don, I'm sorry. I didn't know your grandfather passed away. You just let me know. Yeah. Let me know that." And I think Dad turned around and walked away.
He did. He walked out.
Well, I heard there's more of a tagline. Randy goes, I'm sorry, Don. When did that happen? He could have told me. And he threw out a date. What date was it? It was
like 1958.
Yep, 1958.
And then walked away.
Yep.
That could have been it. Yeah.
I don't remember that, LJ, but he would do that.
He just threw out a date and walked away.
I would love that. Yep.
Well, the way he explained it to me, he says, I wasn't telling a lie because my grandfather did pass away, but I don't think they talked about the date. Your grandpa just let it hang out there.
My grandpa passed away.
My grandpa passed away.
And he was 70 years old at the time. That's a healthy family right there. That's what that is.
Grandpa was 120. Right. No. He only through years of coaching did he probably earn the right to have a little fun, in different situations. I'll tell the story how he ended up coaching. He coached the boys and he coached the girls.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Chuck, our mother, was the coach of the girls.
That's right.
And she coached MSUM for a little while.
She did, yeah.
To her record, she won the the senior ladies championship net division this year.
Oh,
this summer at Village Green.
Right? Yeah.
So what a career!
She really?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did.
Was it like
at 82 years old?
32 or something?
I didn't.
She played really well. Yeah. Anyways,
I better give her a call.
So she could play and she could coach. Well, back in the day when you said you had to go pick up the van, or they would go out north of town to Georgetown, pick up vans from Richard's Transportation.
That's right.
And she was, Dad had bought her an Oldsmobile 88. Yep. And this would have been maybe like a late 80s model, I would say.
Yep.
And so it was made of steel.
Bigger vehicle. Yep. Solid
vehicle. Oldsmobile 88. And she's driving north on Highway 75. And it was about the time the sun was going down. And there was a gal and her daughter driving west on another road. And they didn't stop for a stop sign.
Yep. Heading towards Harwood. They were. They went right through.
And if you're ever on Highway 75 heading north, it's where the road curves a little bit to the west.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's really bad luck that mother's curving west about the same time this car's approaching at a speed of 55, 60 miles an hour.
Yep.
And she gets T-boned. Well, she's in the ditch, as the story goes, and Dad's working at the fire station at this time still. And there's a 911 call saying, hey, there's been a rollover accident. And so the paramedics, fire department, they get there and then they realize it's our mother. Mm-hmm. And so they called back and Dad had to come out and be at that. Well, not had to, he came out to be at the scene of that accident. Mom would have been, really, she was seriously hurt, some head trauma and things like that. It was a bad deal, but the car started on fire, and there was a motorist that stopped and pulled her out.
The gentleman that works for the railroad.
Okay.
Yep. Following. Yep. And helped pull her out.
Otherwise, she might not be with us. But that had to have been a very traumatic experience for him then as a working firefighter to go out and be at the scene of that accident. And I tell that story because she then stepped down from being the girls' coach, and he took over the girls' coach. And as she got back to health, she would go on those trips, and they would kind of co-coach a little bit, but he took over the head coaching reins. So, yeah, you're stepping into a great history, great program, great school and athletic program, great support around you, and you're going to have a lot of help if you ever need anything. That, but it's going to be exciting to see what you do with the boys and the program. And Brock did a great job. He continued that tradition that Dad started. And so you're walking into a good situation, but we're looking forward to watching, see what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. Like I said, it's a good group of guys, and I've already got my conditioning plan worked out. You miss a 3-footer, it's a lap around the front nine.
And some push-ups.
Maybe some push-ups.
I want to see some push-ups.
Lap around the front nine. Take a lap.
The whole front nine.
Yep.
Love it.
The whole front nine.
I would motivate them differently. If they make a 20-footer, they get ice cream.
Oh, there you go.
Go a little positive deal.
You're positive. Oh, that's just a generational difference there.
Don't coach out of fear. Coach out of positive. But if that doesn't work after the first week, then I definitely go over laps.
Then it's laps. Then it's laps. All right. Well, tell you what, let's get into our first break. After the break, we're going to get into some professional golf, and then we got to break down your guys' PGA Tour champions.
We got some stories.
Yes. This is going to be good. So stick around. We'll be right back after the break. This segment brought to you by Sweet Shots Fall League. Come on out, grab you and a partner. Starting October 16th, we're playing a 2-person best ball. You can play Monday or Wednesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. both days. It's an 8-week-long season. The first 7 weeks, we're playing regular season point totals. So it's a point race that first 7 weeks. And then we pay out at the end of the 7 weeks based on our finishes. And then that final week, we're inviting everyone back. We're having a league-wide shootout. We've got some great prizes thanks to our sponsors at Boston Beer Company. And we're just going to have a ton of fun. It's going to be beautiful weather out there. We're playing out on the bays. It's $150 a person. And we've got a whole lot of different proxy games, whether it's closest to the pin, long drive. We've got our progressive pot hole-in-one contest, which is well over $1,500 now, I think. Nobody's made a hole-in-one yet.
Nope, not yet.
We've got our putt view putting contest. That was a hit in the last couple. We're playing for cash there, and even an opportunity to get a little bit into some pin seeker.
That's right.
Which I know we've talked highly about on the show before, and we're still grinding on every day. So it's going to be a blast. I throw in there, we've got optional skins for $5 a week, so $30 cash. It's going to be a great time. Again, grab you and a partner, men or women, open to men or women. We're playing 2-person best ball Monday or Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Come on out starting October 16th. Sign up online, sweetshots.com, under our leagues. Let's have fun today. Yeah, I'm really excited. We got our first, this is recording on a Tuesday, our first ladies leagues tonight.
That's right.
I'm really excited about
Big
that.
group of ladies.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we've got 14 teams of 4.
Wow.
Playing a 4-person scramble, and it's going to be a beautiful night up on the bays. They got us all the way up on 3rd floor. It's
Prime time.
It's going to be a party up there.
Yeah.
Tonight.
And then they'll roll into the terrace probably. They always kind of venture over there. We'll have to make sure that's set up for
Should
a
be a
beautiful
nice night. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. So it's league season, so grab your friends, grab your partners, and come on out and play. It's going to be.
Well, and that's talking to the league guys last year. Extend your season. So it will come to an end. Outside golf will come to an end. This is a way to kind of extend that season, shorten the winter up a little bit.
Yes.
Don't put your golf clubs away. This is like legit league play. It's a lot of fun.
Yep.
And the guys that played all winter, the guys that I talked to, they said when they hit the links outdoors in the spring, they were way sharper.
Your game is there.
It's there.
Absolutely.
I'll be a personal advocate for that because this is probably the first summer where I've had the most access to full ball flight in the winter. NDSU, we were hitting into a bubble and hitting into a TrackMan simulator, but this is the first winter I've had full ball flight access. And I can tell you I've had the best summer golf competitively of my life. I feel. I mean, I think my swing is there.
Sure.
And so I truly think that the full ball flight, plus we're throwing leagues on it, we're having a great time.
Yep.
It really shortens that winter, which is awesome, which is a lot of fun. So come on out, give it a try. And who knows, you might win some money. That's always good too. But let's get into some PGA Tour stuff because we got back into some tournament golf. The Fortinet Championship was just this last weekend, as well as a DP World Tour stop, the BMW Championship, I believe is what they call it. And it was kind of a first glance at some of the Ryder Cup or the Ryder Cup pick performance metric, we'll call it, right? Who's playing hot going into the Ryder Cup? Because what do we have now? 2 weeks?
I'm leaving next Wednesday. I don't know when you guys are leaving, but I'm leaving for Ryder Cup next Wednesday.
So, we got about a week and a half, 2 weeks. I guess Sahith Theegala is not on the team, but you can't not talk about him.
Nope.
He's the winner of the Fortinet. He wins by 2. I think 21 under was the total score. And he looked rock solid all week.
He did.
And I think we talked about it last season, but it was only a matter of time before he kind of broke through.
Yep.
And I think we've been saying that because he was a rookie on tour 2 years ago. He was in the Full Swing documentary.
Yep.
Where he was leading going into Sunday at the WM, and just it didn't happen that day. But I think everybody was
emotional.
Saying,
it was a big deal, right?
Yep. And I think everybody's rooting for him. I mean, he's a guy that he makes it easy to root for. He's a really, really good guy, really cool guy, young guy. I think he's only 24.
Was he a Pepperdine?
Pepperdine. Yep. Graduated Pepperdine.
Yep. So great guy. And Chuck, we were talking a little bit off air before we started, but the man of the week is not a PGA Tour golfer. It might be Sahith Theegala's dad.
That guy's entertaining.
He is fun to watch.
We should have him on a podcast.
I bet we could get him. Yeah,
he was phenomenal.
Well, once we, if our listeners vote us in, they come through. You know, once we win top regional podcast,
there you go.
We'll get Sahith Theegala's dad on the show.
Love it. Yes. That's great moment for him, and then to have the family, following and being there for him. What a way to, I guess, it's kick off the new season.
Right. Yeah. I mean, now we're in it. They got a year-round schedule now, which is it's great for golf fans because we get to watch golf. And I think there is a slight amount of burnout where it's just like, oh man, do we need a little break here? But good golf doesn't stop.
I like the way they do it.
Yeah,
me too. I'd like to talk about what the game within the game though at that tournament.
Yeah,
Justin Thomas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got Homa, right? Defending champion.
Yep.
Ryder Cupper.
Yeah,
he was an auto Ryder Cupper, right?
With points. Yep.
With points. Well, Coach Johnson's pick. Zach picks Justin Thomas, and Justin, he shoots even the final day and still finished 5th. Even par.
That's impressive.
At 15 under. I have no problem with Justin Thomas being on this Ryder Cup team.
You don't think so, huh?
He just outplayed the defending champion in Max Homa.
I did see that Justin Thomas is moving away from analytical second opinions, we'll call it, right? He stepped away from his putting coach.
I heard that.
And he even talked to his dad, is it Mike? And they're obviously not parting ways, but his dad's not as involved with his swing. Justin Thomas is just going to figure it out. He's going to feel it out.
Yep.
And I think that's when you go through a slump like that, hit the reset button.
Go back to what got you there.
Yes. Right.
Stop searching for something.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Mark. I think this tournament and his performance can go a long way.
It did clear up, it cleared up some questions. So I do like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the Ryder Cup atmosphere is it's a whole new ballgame. I'm still I'll say it. I'm still skeptical.
There you go.
But I think he proved what he needed to prove this week. So that's good. Hopefully he continues that because that's big time.
If he rolled in there and missed the cut, I would say, okay, we got problems, folks.
Yep. No, I agree. But he went out. He made a lot of birdies. Right.
Well, good. That's what you want going into Ryder Cup. You want a guy making a lot of birdies.
I do talk
Plus
about
with his experience.
Yep.
Yeah. I have no problem. I had a little money on him.
Yeah,
we stopped at Dakota Magic.
Oh, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, we were on our way back from the Pro-Am, which we're going to talk about. But threw a little money on Scott Stallings. Was going to almost help us retire.
Yep.
If that hit, based on his
and his track record too, right, Mark? You did a little homework. He played well there last year.
Yeah, very well.
Yep.
So Justin Thomas, we didn't have Theegala though, so we didn't win. Golf's hard to pick the winner. It's hard.
It's got to be one of the hardest ones because you just don't know. Even as golfers, right? You go into Sunday, and anybody within 5 shots to the lead might as well be tied. You know what I mean?
You got a chance.
They make a birdie, and the leader makes a bogey. All of a sudden, that's down to 2, 3. Right?
It's tough.
I mean,
it's tough.
Tough to.
So we have to keep working. We didn't hit that one.
Okay, I'm glad you guys are still here. That's why we're having a podcast today. You guys didn't hit Scott Stallings for plus 10,000 or whatever it was.
Agreed. Okay.
All right. I tell you what.
Speaking of gambling.
Okay. Yeah. Go.
Can I jump in on?
I was going to break down DP World Tour because we're on Ryder Cup.
Oh, go for it.
And then we'll get into it because I know what you're going to talk about. Okay. And I do want to get into that too. But what I was more interested in it more so was the DP World Tour tournament, the BMW PGA Classic.
Yep.
Because every member of the Ryder Cup team played in that tournament. Yep. Captain Luke Donald said
all the Europeans
play it.
Okay.
And the star of the week was the Ryder Cup rookie, Ludwig Aberg, who
he didn't win though, did he?
Well, I forget now because my phone is sitting up there and recording, so I don't have the final standings up off the top of my head, but I do know that just about every Ryder Cup member finished in the top 10 of that tournament.
Okay,
so they are playing well. Europe's playing well, but Aberg was definitely the star of the show.
Yeah, Ryan Fox was the winner.
Ryan Fox.
I saw on Golf Channel, it was pretty cool. I think it might have been his dad next to him. And after he had won, he kind of sat there. You could see him thinking, and he whispered to his dad, "We get to go to Augusta."
Oh, that gets him to Augusta?
That's what he said. They had a little tracker on the bottom.
That's really
cool. Yep.
Oh,
that's cool. Yeah,
that
so
means a lot to those guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's a dream. Yeah. So, you got Tyrrell Hatton, John Rahm, Victor Hovland are all second, fourth, T2nd, fourth, and fifth. Tommy Fleetwood, sixth. Rory McIlroy, seventh. Adam Scott, seventh. Ludwig, 10th. Tom Hoagie, T14. How about that?
Hoagie played over there.
No kidding.
Hoagie, nice little 4 under the last day for a T14.
Nice.
Good for him.
But I would say, okay, so they all finished in the top, whatever. But
Shane Lowry,
name me a player.
Exactly.
Name me a player that finished 25th to 35th that we even know.
Yep. Adrian Moronk.
Okay, one.
Any more?
Thomas Dietrich, 33rd.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Mark.
That guy can sing.
I see your point.
It's a watered down field.
Yep.
That's the knock on European Tour.
Yeah, you and everybody else are saying that, but it's you still got to golf your ball over there because what's the winning score there? Like 14 under, something like that.
Yep.
You still got to golf your ball, and I do think it goes a long way to be playing over there and playing well over there before the Ryder Cup in Europe. You know what I mean? Because that golf course style is going to be very similar.
Yeah,
very similar.
Okay, but since you're very much on board, the Europeans are winning this.
Well, again, my prediction is that it's going to be close, and the Europeans are going to pull ahead.
Yep.
I'm Captain USA over here, all the way, baby. But as a realist, I think if US can make it close and competitive, and maybe squeak one out by a point or two, I'm all in. That's the dream scenario right now.
And I'm working on a guest next week that played there about a month ago. Yep.
Like the Ryder Cup course?
Yep.
Oh, very
in
cool.
Italy. It'd be great insight.
That'd be awesome.
Yep. So I'm working on that.
Okay.
I know a guy.
Get him on there.
I know a guy.
Tell him we're a top 5 podcast in the area.
Yep.
Soon to be number 1.
I'll reach out to him today.
Okay. I love it. So, I think there's a lot of stuff to keep track on going into the Ryder Cup. And Mark, you're taking off. You're going to be boots on the ground. How's the media credentials going? You look into that?
Yeah, it's slim pickings. It's tough to get media.
They don't know
credentials
who you
for
are.
Ryder Cup. It's tough. I think after our showing last week at the Champions Tour, I thought we had like a legit chance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I almost got invited to this week's Champions Tour event.
Mm-hmm.
Then what happened?
We'll talk about it, but
then what happened?
Well,
they drove off.
No media credentials for the Ryder Cup. Yeah, it was a dead end.
Bummer. All right. Well, hopefully we'll be a phone call away. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think for sure I'm going to meet up with JD with the ambassadors. What do they call themselves? Marshals. I won't be sporting the horns or anything like that, but
deputy. He's going to be deputy.
I'm going to be deputized, and I fully expect I'll do a call in. Let's call in from there, and we'll record something.
Love it. We'll do a breakdown from across the pond. And with that, so we mentioned you guys as we keep teasing it. So I need to know, let's get a breakdown of this PGA Tour Champions deal.
Yeah.
Were you guys knocking elbows with John Daly over here? I mean, we were talking about who we were going to get. Where'd we end up? How'd we end up?
Okay.
Well, it started Tuesday night, the night before.
Yep.
There's a big social.
Mm-hmm.
Sanford, they run this. It's a nice event.
It was beautiful.
Sanford House, is that what they call it?
The Sanford House. Yep. In Sioux Falls.
Yep.
A structure they built right on this acreage they own. A beautiful pond, and then they used that back courtyard area. That's where we were sitting.
There's a golf hole out there.
Yep, they got a little golf hole out there. Mark and I right away we found the Denny Sanford bar. It's named after him, his namesake. A little prestigious, pretty high class. So we wander in there like we know what we're doing, right?
A couple bush lights.
You just own it. Oh no, Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace.
Ooh,
yep.
Yeah.
And Crown for me. So we made friends with the barkeep in there, the ladies. That was great. They took care of us.
Yep. He's got letters from Jack Nicklaus on the wall in there. I mean, it's a nice.
Yes.
It's everything you would.
How about the hole-in-one story?
Yeah. So he was playing Augusta National. Denny Sanford playing Augusta National, and he what happened? The ball went in the hole.
Yep, he jarred it on 12.
Yeah,
and it bounced out. Yes. So his playing partner said it's half a hole in one.
half a hole in one.
Oh my!
There's a picture. You could see some damage from the hole. I think, right?
Yep.
So
what
pretty
a
unique
roller
story.
coaster.
Isn't that something?
That is unique.
Yeah. So
The
that
half
Tuesday
hole
night, it's the pairings party. So you find out which pro you're going to play with, and they had the tee sheets sitting on the. And we're looking. We were kind of doing a suspenseful kind of. We covered the other groups. We were just looking for what time we played. Because honestly, if we had that first tee time at 7:00, 7:30.
7:30.
If it was 7:30, we were going to shut down the fun early.
Yeah, we're going to switch to just straight Diet Coke.
Game face.
Yeah,
game face.
Might even gone water because the caffeine lingers.
That's true.
So we decided. Let's go down this list. Well, the later it got, we knew we were morning. So it was like, okay, this is getting better and better and better. We were 9:10.
Yep.
Off hole number 1.
Game on. Time. That's
last tee time was 9:30.
That's right.
So, okay, we're a featured pairing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And we are playing. We're with Tiffany Lawrence.
Yep.
President of
Fargo Market here at Sanford Health. Yep. Tiffany's done great for this region. She's worked her way up to that role. She's been in that position 2 to 3 years now. She's phenomenal. She was great to play with.
Yep. And then Doug Restemeyer. Doug's the president, CEO of DS Beverage.
Sure.
And Budweiser
good
distributor.
Group.
Yeah. And he's on the board so that was kind of our pairing
for Sanford. Yep.
We knew going in who we were playing with, but we didn't know our pro.
No.
And so we talked last week on the show.
You guys would have been perfect for John Daly, a beverage distributor.
Probably. I know.
Probably.
Yeah. The pairings committee missed the boat.
Son of a
But
spoiler.
we were paired with
Tom Pernice.
Yep. Tom's had a nice career out there.
Solid. Yeah.
Solid career on tour. Couple wins on tour for sure.
Yep.
He's won on the Champions Tour, I believe, as well.
Yep.
And 64 years old, but doesn't look 64.
No, he doesn't.
Has taken care of himself. So the tie here is I knew that Tom Pernice had played in the Bobcat North Dakota Open back in the day.
Oh, sure.
In the 80s.
Yeah.
So I asked him about it. He's like, yeah, I played the Dakotas Tour 1 year. He was out of Kansas City. And it was the first hole, and he wasn't overly talkative. So I didn't want to.
It was early.
He's game mode.
He was kind of game mode a little bit. So we made that connection. Then I find out after the round that our own David Booth, golf club fitter extraordinaire,
previous guest on the podcast.
That's right.
Caddied for Tom Pernice in the North Dakota Open.
No kidding.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
That's crazy.
Huh?
Yeah.
And Tom was like leading the tour, and he talked to Steve Weiner. I need a good caddy. They went with the best caddy he had, and it was David Booth.
Isn't that nuts?
That's crazy.
It
Were
is.
you there at that time then?
Well, I was working for Boothie. I'm not sure if I was there. Because if he would have put me, if he wanted the best caddy, I must not have been there yet.
You're pretty good. You shepherded me to a top 5 finish at the Holly shortstop back in the day.
Yep, absolutely.
But so we get Tom Pernice, and everybody's a little nervous, and it's a shamble. So you on par 3s and 5s, we could use his tee shot, but on par 4s, we're on our own. And then you play your own ball from that location. It was just the lone goods, your lowest score out of your group was your team score. So one ball.
One ball is all.
Yep. So if Tom makes an eagle and the rest of us make net birdies or net pars, we get to take his eagle. Well, Tom made 2 birdies all day.
Slow.
Yeah, he didn't really have his game.
Saved it for the weekend. Hopefully.
I think so.
Well, he didn't play. He was around even the first day. No, he's 1 under the first day. Was maybe 1 over the second day. Then didn't play well the last day. Too bad. But there's a no-cut event. It's a no-cut event, so they play all 3 days. But he was great, very generous with. He helped Tiffany out with her swing.
Yeah,
she was hitting some high fades, and I, as a rule, don't jump into somebody's game like in the middle of a round because it was kind of a unsettling situation for her to be in.
Sure, yeah,
and,
pressure. Yeah.
But Tom jumped right in there and changed her grip and said, "Let's do this," and she started hitting it more and more solid. With jumping to the 18th hole, she smoked a second shot into the bleachers.
It was
like turned one over. She'd been hitting high fades all day.
A hard hook left.
Hard hook. Beautiful. And it went up into the bleachers, and it was right above the big screen with his smiling face on it.
Right over it.
We thought she was going to smoke the screen. So that was fun.
Yeah, that's
he
good.
gave her knocks like great swing, great shot. And it was.
Well, Chuck, how'd you hit it, Chuck? Because I know we had just played on Friday, the Friday before at Holly.
That's right. Yep. I drove it well off the tee.
You did.
So
you hit
better
it
than Holly.
Well, thanks, LJ. I did.
I didn't even call you out on the show that week.
No, I was. I was nervous coming into this. I don't play a lot of my own ball events anymore. It's usually scramble type deals. So I was nervous, but I think I held my own off the tee. And then my approach game was decent enough.
Did you catch any callers out there?
No.
Because I know in Holly,
callers.
you were picking callers.
We were chipping.
Spotting.
Well, yeah, no, it was an interesting format because par threes, we had somebody hit the par threes all the time. And then Tiffany would two putt with the strokes. We were birding on the par threes. You hit it good.
Yep.
I thought you
had one birdie on my own, and then I had a chance for another one on 18.
And we're going to get to that.
Yeah,
so
we will. Okay.
we start this deal, and everybody's a little nervous, but we're getting one of our players getting a stroke a hole, and it's just one net score per group, and we're going through the first hole. I think we might have even had a net birdie.
We did.
And the second hole, I go up there with 2 7-irons and tell my story to Tom and his caddy. So his caddy, Sandy Armour, his grandfather is Tommy Armour.
Did you guys get a sponsorship deal out of the world?
That's phenomenal. Well,
not yet. No, we're working on
it.
Working on that. And so Sandy was a great caddy, and they jumped right in there and gave us reads on putts.
Yep.
For the most part, they were good reads. A couple times they overread it a few times. But we got a million stories. And this is going to carry over to next week's show because we are going to have Hank, the guy that runs that event, is going to jump on with us next week.
That's awesome.
We'll tell some more stories next week. But I go up there with 2 7. I don't know what it was, 170.
You got a Frankenstein's bag.
174. And I'm like, okay, guys, here's my deal. I'm carrying. So I talk about Bluethy and 2 7-irons, and I knock it up there to what, 3 feet?
Yeah, I was right at it. Right at it to about 3 feet.
Birdie. Sets the stage.
Yep.
I mean, I had 4 birdies myself. I think one of those 4 birdies, though, I may have used somebody else's drive. But,
okay.
But I hit it pretty good. But I've been hitting my driver pretty solid. Mm-hmm. Tom Pernice was long. Like I busted the one on 9. Yeah. Ended up with 71 yards left.
That's right.
Where I made birdie there too. By the way. We were neck and neck, and he probably started 10 yards behind me.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't know if he hit 3-wood or driver. Ooh. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
So he could get it. He could hit it.
He's a big hitter.
He still had it. I mean, yeah. I absolutely punished a drive on 3 that he wasn't getting to that one, but on 12, the par 5, I hit that good into the wind, and he was 25 yards by me.
Oof. Yep. Get in the weight room. Let's go.
Well,
we had the Johnson show in the last 3 holes.
Yep. So we cut right to the chase.
Yep. You guys.
So they got big leaderboards, the electronic leaderboards.
Yep.
And I glanced early and I saw that the leaders were like 9 under through 11. So I'm like, okay, nobody's going like crazy. And we were on that pace, almost 1 per hole. Yep. So we were probably 9 through 11. So I knew we were kind of on pace.
You're right there. Yep.
So we get to 15, right? Is it 15?
16, where you carried us.
16. We know we're in it.
Yep.
And I could have gone for it in 2. Yep. And Tom's
Par
like,
5.
no, why don't the 4 of you guys just lay up and then you'll have 4 putts for eagle.
Yep.
Net eagle.
Yep. Net eagle.
And he hit a 248-yard 3-wood there. That was legit.
Yeah.
Tom did?
Yeah. He just pumped it back of the green. I mean, it was like, okay, yeah, this guy, he can hit it still.
That's deep. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, it was solid. I mean, not as solid as you hit it, LJ, but it was pretty, it was fun to watch.
Yep.
So anyways, long story short, I navigate that hole, make birdie. He reads. Tom did give me a good read. There's
20.
I was going to say 18.
Okay, 18 footer
left to right.
Buried it.
Center
cut.
Boom. Okay,
let's go.
And that was actually I got a stroke there, so I was getting 3 strokes.
Yeah.
It's the tournament committee gave me 3 strokes.
All right,
so 4 for 3.
Eagle. Boom.
Let's go.
We go to now we're up to 15 under.
That's right.
We get to 15 under. The leader's at 17.
I'm not looking.
Okay.
I know this right.
I'm not watching because I'll get more nervous. I don't want to know.
Yeah,
I just wander over to the
nose to the grindstone. Let's go.
Like a sandwich and a barley pop, and I'm like, oh, I'm up.
Athletes are rising to the top at this point, right?
178.
Yep.
Par 3.
Par 3.
Looking kind of into the sun, so you can't really see the pin.
Little into the wind.
Mm-hmm. I get up there, and I'm like, is it a 5 or a 6? I'm going to go 5 to make sure I get it there. And I hit the 5 right at it.
We thought it might be going in.
It's like rolling right to the pin. I'm like, ooh.
Tiger tracker.
Well, I couldn't see the cup for sure.
Yeah.
So I had my heart going like, what if that went in?
Yeah.
That's going to be a story. Tom hit one
He stayed below the hole.
He did.
Which is the play there.
Yeah, I was above the hole. We get up there and it's above the hole. It's slippery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You were about 20, 25 feet.
Yep.
And he was probably 20 feet below the hole.
Yep. So Mark, we're taking that one. Mark putts first, gives everybody a great read. And then I get up there and bury it center cut.
Right in the hole.
Let's go.
Boom.
Yep.
Another birdie.
Yep.
So now we're 16 with 1 to play.
Mm-hmm.
And
Legit.
we get to 18. It's a hard dog leg left. They do a great job with the stadium seating there. So you're hitting into like the Coliseum.
It is.
It's really cool.
On 18. That's
yeah,
cool.
the day we played, there's one guy in it.
There's one spectator.
But I had visions of thousands. One guy. I'm not even sure he was paying attention. But anyway.
But they had music blaring. I mean,
they did.
They did not play a bad song all day. You can hear the music all over the golf course.
And that's the story. I'll tell you when I get to the putt.
But anyway, okay.
So, I knock one out there safely in play like I'm supposed to do. And then these guys bombs away. And Mark hit one really good, but it went through the fairway.
100 yards. We had 100 yards left.
That's our wheelhouse. So Tom was behind us. He hit first.
Yeah.
Left it short right.
He wasn't even on the green. I think he had some tree problems.
Yep. Short right.
Yeah. Anyways.
And then we're keeping the rotation. I hit first. We got 100 yards. This is my wheelhouse. So I pull out the old 52, choke down on it. And Mark's like, just don't be afraid to give it a go. There's a backdrop behind that cup. There's a little hill.
He would come back down the hill even if you went a little long.
Yep. I had visions. And I just feathered it right at it. Perfect shot.
Yeah.
Maybe just a little front end or a little short of the
It was
cup.
perfect.
And I rolled and then took the break and it went, 5 feet? 5.5?
5.5 feet. 5.5.
Right where you want to be, looking straight up the hill.
It was the best shot we had.
Yep.
And so now we got a putt. He's getting a stroke here.
I'm getting a stroke. 3 for a 2.
3 for 2.
I don't have any idea where we're at on the leaderboard. I've refused to look.
You're just playing.
But in my mind, I'm like,
this
I think
counts.
this is pretty important based on the silence on the green.
Yeah, because I go to Sandy, the caddy, and I'm like, should we tell him? Sandy he didn't say, he just nodded, no, don't tell him.
See, Nick and I did that at the airport scramble too.
I know you did. To Zach and I.
Yeah, we didn't tell you.
Didn't tell us.
I think athletes need to know.
I need to know.
I want to know.
I want to know.
You just said you didn't want to. You spent the whole day.
I wanted to know.
No, you do
At that moment when I've got the last putt, I wanted to know. Well, here's the music's blaring, and I'm sitting there looking at it. It's an Eagles song. I'm like, well, this is karma.
This is
right
Chuck
here.
for an eagle.
So we got to set it up though. So I was going to hoist something in the air, throw it by the hole, and let it come down the hill, and I bladed it and went over the green.
Whoops.
But now I had an opportunity to chip my ball, and I chipped my ball. Might have been the best chip I hit all day.
Mm-hmm.
Back behind Chuck's ball.
Like a good teammate would.
Exactly. So I'm going to give him a read.
Nice.
And so I putted mine up there, and it didn't break.
It didn't.
It didn't break.
How far by did you hit it?
Uh-oh.
No, it was whole high. No. It was appropriate.
Okay.
And so it didn't break. Now, your original read, and this goes, if you're a golfer out there, this is the debate. You know, being confident about your read might be as important as the read you make.
Yep.
So anyways, Chuck, talk us through your first instinct when you walked on that green.
Yeah.
This is legit. Now, I know this is for the win.
In
my mind, this is for the win.
Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking this has got to go a little bit right. I'm gonna go left edge. Just the way I've been putting, feeling left edge.
Left edge. Simple.
And it was weird because Mr. Armour, Sandy, had been coming and reading everything for me, but he didn't this one. Tom did.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom was kind of 50-50 on the reads. So he came, as he does, real quick behind me, and he's just like, what did he say? Center cut? I can't remember how he said it.
Inside left.
Inside left.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, nope.
Center left. And he goes, it's not going to break.
And I went, don't give the hole away. He said, nope. So I'm like, that's not how I'm reading it, but okay.
It didn't look like that was the putt. It didn't look like it. So I agree with you.
I'm in my head now.
Pro's telling you.
Yes.
Inside
LJ.
left.
And he's been right about 8.5 out of 10 times.
Yeah. So now I've got this indecision in my head, and I get up over it.
Can't do it.
And I don't think I gave it the best stroke, and I left it outside left and missed it.
Shoot.
Yeah, that hurt.
Oh.
And it's not a scramble, so it's not like we each have the same putt to try.
That's
He's
one
playing his own ball.
Parnut bird.
So then my brother goes, that was to be the leaders in the clubhouse. We would have been leading this thing.
Did I say it like that?
He did. I'm like, I feel crushed.
Salt on the wound. That's what they call that one.
legit.
No, but we were like very supportive. Hey, nice
100%.
We played great. So we were 17 under as a team.
That's
and
great.
that was tied
55.
for the lead when we left. Yep. And we're like, we got a lot out of our round.
Yeah, we did.
We really did. We ham and egged it. You know, we just never were in trouble. And then, we get the results from the afternoon wave later that night. Yeah, we didn't even finish in the top 5.
You didn't sniff it?
Not even
Nothing.
top 5.
55 didn't sniff it?
No. I don't know if they were playing different tees than us or
I don't know what happened. The afternoon.
What won it?
49.
What?
Yep.
They beat us by.
I warned you
6.
though, Chuck. I warned you. Go listen to that. The last show. I said, Chuck, there's going to be a bunch of sandbaggers at this.
You did. Well, so I'm looking at our notes from last time. LJ, you predicted a gross score. This is when we assumed it was a 2-ball, though.
Yeah.
You said gross would be 140.
Yep.
So how far off were you? If we extrapolate the...
Well, if you're getting a stroke a hole.
Yeah. No.
No.
What par
You were
70
50.
there?
Yeah, par 70.
Oh, par 70. I thought it was 72. So then I missed it by a lot then.
Yeah, so winners shot 49 and we were
55.
55.
Well, no, if we were 15. Yeah. We shot 55. So, but so there was a 49. There were 2 50s. Yeah, it was like what?
Yeah.
Did they play the same course we played?
Who are the pros in the afternoon? I mean, where's
Well,
Chris
know.
DeMarco was one of them. I saw that.
One of the winning team.
Yeah, in the top 3. I think he was in a 3rd place team.
So you could see it. I mean, if a pro's getting hot out there,
yeah.
making
Got
some
hot.
birdies, and maybe
That's
the
true.
eagle or something like that.
That's true.
And yeah, I like Tom Pernice. I'm not trying to diss him here or not because he's got better game than I do, but he gave us 2 birdies.
2 birdies.
2
You
birds.
gotta get it. Like, okay, I mean,
But he's a nice guy.
Yeah,
if he's
nice guy.
listening to this, Tom, I really enjoyed
Yeah,
your
it was
company
great.
that day.
It
We
was
had some
great-
good conversations.
Good round. So here's my final question.
Yeah.
But what's the attitude like at a pro-am? I mean, is it like Tom and those guys, are they like grind? Obviously, you said he helped you with reads, but is it just like nonsense? He's always grinding, picking different spots, or is it happy-go-lucky?
You know, I'll jump in. I was nervous in that he was going to be grinding, and not real social and making it even more stressful. And I was nervous that I would be holding him up, like getting in his way almost.
Yep.
I didn't feel that at all. And I think it helped. You might have asked the question on the first tee today. Are they playing for money today?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was you that asked the starter.
I asked the starter. These guys play. Nope, they're not playing for anything.
Yep.
It's a practice
round.
They're here to help you out with your team score.
Yep.
All right.
So I felt that on about you, MJ.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, and I think those pros, they've been out there a while, right? He's been 64 years old.
He's seen it. He's done it.
He's seen it, and he understands without us, without the pro-am players, without the sponsors, those guys aren't playing for the money they're playing for anymore.
That's true.
So,
help you out. Yep.
Yeah. So I thought he was gracious.
I did too.
I felt like at times maybe were we playing a little slow? Well, it's a hard format sometimes when you're looking for your golf ball and stuff like that. But I think we stayed out of his way. I think he had an enjoyable day with us. He had lunch with us afterwards.
He did.
So, if things didn't go well, he's probably going to not have lunch with us.
Yeah.
Head out.
So what an event. I'd just like to say that Sanford International, they run a really nice event.
Very impressed.
Yeah, I was. I felt welcomed, and just to have an opportunity to play with Tiffany and Doug, that was phenomenal.
That's a good squad you guys had, and hopefully if it all works out like you teased, we get what was his name again? Hank. Hopefully Hank comes on. He's tournament director. Is that right?
Tournament coordinator.
I mean, we'll break it down with that. With Hank,
they do a great job. I'm telling you, folks out there, if you haven't gone to a Champions Tour event, I mean, this one's literally in our backyard.
Yeah,
go to this because the players are accessible. You get really close to the action.
Yep.
I mean, you could almost, you could on the 10th tee.
Yeah,
you could stand there and pull the club for them out of their bag.
Yes,
I mean, you're that close.
You're that close.
It's a little different than a
how
PGA
about the
Tour
draw.
event.
I mean, you're getting the John Daly's that are coming there. Bernard
Sean
Longer
played well. We haven't even
Steve
talked about
Stricker,
the
winning it
results
back
of
to
this
back.
deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's the legit guys in the senior tour are there.
Between that one and the Principal Charity Classic, which we talked about on the show too. I mean, 2 of those are right in the backyard.
That's fun.
It's kind of a similar setup down in West Des Moines. So
John Daly was in the mix this week.
Top 5, I think.
Yeah, he played well.
Next year, if you guys get the call back, make sure Doug's on the squad and just go to you can talk to Hank and just be like, hey, listen here. Doug is a part of a beverage distributing company. John, it's a perfect fit.
We didn't even get into Tom's comments on Bud Light on hole 2, but that's for another show.
That can be another one.
Daly finished T7, by the way.
T7, okay.
And shot even the final day.
Okay.
Him and JD and JT, even on the final day.
All right.
Well, that was good. I'm glad you guys went down and played that. Chuck, I'm glad you played better than you did at Holly in our round.
I appreciate that.
And you had some fun. So hopefully next year you get the invite back. 49 is the number to beat. Now that I know that, I mean that's going to be Your handicap might have to go up, Chuck.
I can work on that.
All right, that's all we got.
Yep.
At least I got. You got anything else to add?
That's
that was a great show.
Good show.
We were trying to keep it short, and I think it was a great conversation. A lot of good stuff. So if you haven't already, again, thank you to all our listeners for nominating Top 5 Podcasts, regional podcasts in the area. Thank you for that nomination. Make sure you go out and vote. You can find it on our social media pages, Sweet Shots Fargo, and then vote for whether it's this podcast or anything else. You said 8 nominations.
8 categories.
Categories.
We're proud of being nominated for those. We were fortunate last year to win a couple. It'd be great to do that again this year. And it comes from you guys, listeners, going out there and voting. So please do so.
Get out and vote. There you go.
Right.
Thanks for tagging along, and we'll catch you next week.